What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Untamed. And you know the rest. Back again for another episode of the Man What podcast. Man, what? I know y'all noticing something a little different about the whole scenery and what we got going on. But it's going to be some changes going forward. It's going to be some changes to the podcast. So let me just start with that. I know y'all are looking for Khalil. I don't really know where Buddy at. But I feel like it's been too long since we've been back on this mic. So for the time being, it's just going to be me, man. It's just going to be me. Alone. By myself. Doing this here podcast. We got a new logo. We did change the name of the channel. It's going to be called Man What Media. Man What Media, right? Because I feel like this channel is more than just a podcast. I feel like, we talk about all type of news. We're going to start reacting to videos. We're going to take a different route, right? So we're going to start doing different things on the channel. So first order of business. I know all of y'all have been seeing Facts TV with 6ix9ine, right? Basically 6ix9ine decided that he was going to become a content creator. I don't know if he's still a rapper, but he's definitely making noise and making movements. You know what I'm saying? As far as the media, the content space. So he has a new podcast. It's called Facts TV, right? And I think it's sponsored by RainBet. I think all of y'all know who RainBet is. Aiden Ross uses them for their sponsorships a lot with a lot of his fights. I see a lot of content creators just making little funny videos and stuff, and they're all sponsored by RainBet. So yeah, RainBet, sponsor your boy. But anyway, he did his first episode the other day, and it featured Big Bang TV. Now for those of y'all who do not know who Big Bang TV is, he's a big interviewer. He has a YouTube channel. He's out of Atlanta. He was actually the first person that did a Young Thug interview when Young Thug first got out of prison. You know, when they were talking about all the phone calls and the snitching allegations and all this other type of stuff that Young Thug was going through. He was the first one that got that interview. This is where we get the infamous the memes from Young Thug. But anyway, so we're going to watch this first video, then we're going to react to it.
Of Young Thug standing there talking to police. That's telling or not?
You say what?
He said, you say what?
Young Thug's interrogation video is 2 to 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Is that telling or not?
Big Bang don't want to answer the question.
Say that
So where did the
Twitter.
hate come from?
I don't know, bro, because you told on some brothers. You told on some black men, and you're a Mexican.
It's crazy because
Oh, cool.
6ix9ine said
Alright.
this.
That's how a nigga probably feel like that nigga told on some men.
So this is what I'm saying. So I told him some brothers. Who killed Nipsey? A
For
brother.
Sure, for sure.
Who killed Vaughn?
A brother.
A brother.
For sure.
Who killed PNB Rock?
A brother.
A brother.
For sure.
Who killed Pop Smoke?
A brother.
A brother. Who killed Biggie? A brother.
For sure.
Who killed Tupac?
A brother.
A brother. Who killed Slim 400? A brother. Who killed?
Bro, nigga
I
wanna be Martin
walk
King.
shit down.
Man, a lot to unpack with just these two clips. 6ix9ine is going on a tyrant. I mean, he's going on a 6ix9ine is like an atomic bomb when it comes to the rap game, right? We all know 6ix9ine. He came out with Gummo. He had a good run going For a minute, it was looking like he was finna take over the rap game. Then the whole case happened where obviously he snitched on the 9 Trays, the Bloods, you know what I'm saying, where he called them a bunch of dirty Bloods. He gets on Breakfast Club interview. He basically denounces that the whole organization and basically said that they tried to kidnap him. They did his girl. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things going on in that situation, and you know, during the trial, I think a lot of people they really expected him to fold. They expected him to snitch. So when he actually did snitch and you know everything became public, I think everybody made their mind up about 6ix9ine. You know, because they already hated him. They already hated him because he was going on a world tour, Test Shit Gangster tour. He was going to all the hoods. He went to Old Block. He went to Cali. He went to, you know, all these different places, and basically was saying, look, I'm here. What y'all gonna do? Nobody did nothing to him at the time, right? So he gets out. You know, he really wears the snitch jacket. I think his first video, he had on a big mouse head. You know what I'm saying? Really just embracing the snitching. And I think in hip hop, well, I know. I think a lot of y'all know that too, that snitching is a taboo. It's an unspoken rule, a spoken rule now, since so many people are discussing it, right? So, you know, long story short, with the Big Bank interview on Facts TV, I feel like it was a setup. It was a setup. Big Bank was already online. Basically, he's the one who really asked for the interview. He asked for the interview, and then as the interview unfolded, I feel like Big Bank wasn't mentally prepared for the antics of 6ix9ine. We all know that he's an animated character. We all know that 6ix9ine is someone who analyzes a lot of what people say, and he always has a retort to everything. And so just like on the video, you know, he was basically asking Big Bank if he thinks Young Thug snitched. We all seen the interrogation video, 2 hours, 3 hours long. Young Thug got on a Big Bank interview and basically said that he was trying to walk the cops down, and he was trying to spin the cops, that he didn't really tell on anyone. But I feel like he gave out a little bit too much information, and I think a lot of other people felt that way too, because you know, ever since all this shit came out, Young Thug's career hasn't been the same. We got some music from Young Thug, and I just don't think it reacted the way that I thought, or even Young Thug thought. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it has to do with the phone calls that came out, the snitching allegations, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, Big Bank refused to answer the question. Big Bank was sitting there like a deer in headlights, acting like he didn't understand the question that 6ix9ine was asking him. And I think it was pretty straightforward. Did Young Thug snitch? Right? And Big Bank even said, like, why would you try to spin the cops? Like, how smart? Because a lot of these street dudes think that they're gonna outsmart the cops, right? When they're just one person or two people, when you're going against the government, basically. You know what I'm saying? You're going against these people that do their research, these people that look at all your videos and listen to all your songs and dissect all of the lyrics. You know, a lot of people think that they're smarter than the actual police, and I don't think that's the case, especially with a lot of these rappers, a lot of these drill rappers, a lot of these scam rappers, everybody that's rapping about all this crime that they do and all these killings and all these robberies and selling drugs and all of this. So, you know, I really think it's crazy that a lot of rappers think that they could just spin the cops. I don't think it's that easy. I think the cops, they spoon feed you. They give you a little bit of information. They want to see if you're going to lie. They want to see if you're going to tell on yourself or if you're scared. I think a lot of these interrogations really say a lot about the character and just the actual bravado of the the men or the women that are in there. You know what I'm saying? And as we get to the second clip, you know, Big Bank is saying that he doesn't know where all the hate for 6ix9ine comes from. He doesn't get it. He even says, I don't know, it's probably because you're Mexican. And this is crazy because 6ix9ine's whole run right now, his whole, when he gets on the Vlad interviews, when he's doing all these interviews, when he gets with Aiden and stuff like that, he's basically saying that y'all don't like me because I'm Mexican, you know, pulling a race card. But I think that when Big Bang said, I don't know, it's probably because you're Mexican, it kind of validated 6ix9ine's point that, you know, a lot of these other people are snitching. We get to the Gucci Man with the Puchaisi stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But basically, 6ix9ine is saying there's so many of these rappers who are snitches, but it's like Finesse 2 Times said, it's cool when you do it, it's a problem when I do it, right? Because it comes out that a lot of these people are snitching, a lot of these people are folding when they get in these rooms, and they just think that it's not gonna come out, or but we live in a time of internet. We live in the time of YouTube and bloggers and all these people requesting footage from the feds, requesting footage from the police, and a lot of this stuff is starting to come out. So I think 6ix9ine actually made a valid point when he said, who was all these rappers killed by? It's a brother. And I think that it's a brother. Who was such and such killed by? It's a brother. I think that really brought a great point to, they're mad at 6ix9ine because he snitched on some brothers and he's Mexican, right? But then it kind of brings a contradiction right in front of our eyes that, you know, this code that a lot of people go by, and that the rappers and the street guys go by, is to protect your brother or protect whoever by not snitching, right? But then when you go and you see these murders and you see a lot of this indictments and stuff, who's around? It's your brothers. It's your brothers telling on you. It's your brothers killing you. It's your brothers doing this, right? And that brings forth a bigger point to, we got to do better, especially as black people. We have to do better. We talk all of this codes. We talk all of this camaraderie. We talk about, oh yeah, that's my brother this and brother that. But it's a lot of the crime and a lot of the stuff that happens to us is done by somebody who looks just like us, or you know, it's done by the same people who you are trying to protect. And I think that is such a big contradiction in the rap game. I think that y'all can agree that, you know, the same people that you protect are the same people on the stand, are the same people behind the gun, are the same people you know, talking down on you on social media, and you know, all it takes is one incident, and the same people that you call family, the same people that you call friends will turn on you just like that. And I think that, you know, a lot of these friendships, and especially in the music industry, because that's the part that I want to highlight the most, especially in the music industry, a lot of these people are just there for the rise, and as soon as you fall, they're the same people that kick your back in. They're the same people that have stories about how you wasn't real, or, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Big Bank going to this interview, he was not prepared. And 6ix9ine had PowerPoint. Y'all can go watch the interview after this and just see 6ix9ine had a whole PowerPoint. He had pictures. He had this and that. So I think when people look at 6ix9ine, they just see an animated character. And I think that's what he wants you to see. That's like his internet persona, right? But I think behind the scenes, 6ix9ine is very methodical. I think that he thinks about these interviews, and he thinks about what he's gonna say. We can all agree that 6ix9ine definitely knows how to go viral. He did it so many times. He continues to do it even with his Big Bank interview. And I think that the people watching really see the contradictions that we have in rap. The oh, that's my homeboy. Even at the end of the interview, Big Bang said, you know, everybody has homeboys, and friends and family that even if they do something wrong or they do something against the code, somebody's going to say, oh, yeah, well, that's my brother. So I'm not going to go against him, even though he's wrong, So I think 6ix9ine did a great job in just pointing out the hypocrisy and just the fickle, funny style that people go by, because a lot of these people are snitching. A lot of these people are talking to the police, which I don't really care because I'm not in the streets. But I think that for you to be a street rapper or for you to be a street artist and for you to talk about these codes and say fuck snitches and death to all snitches and just really preach against that type of activity, but for you to be the same guy to do a report, for you to be the same guy to think that you're outsmarting the police, but really they're outsmarting you, because little do you know that this footage is going to come out, right? And it doesn't come out at your convenience. It comes, obviously, the police are methodical as well. They put stuff out just to make you look bad. Especially they'll wait till you have a big moment and boom, that's when the footage comes out. That's when the conversations come out. That's when the paperwork comes out. People think that the police are just like this. People think that the police aren't sitting back watching the YouTubes and watching people taunt them and stuff like this. Man, they're humans too, right? And what I mean by that is, when you talk shit about somebody or you go against the whole police force, there's people behind there that don't like that and that are waiting. They clout chase too. And they will put stuff out that's not at a convenience to you. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen this multiple times. We've seen this with many different artists, many different rappers. We had a rapper here in Houston, Cartel Bo. He put out an interview. Well, it was more like a documentary, right? I think it's called Murder Wood or something along the lines of that. And basically, throughout the interview, Cartel Bo was walking through the streets of his hood and showing different sites where people were murdered or selling drugs, or there was even a time where he goes under this underpass and he's basically like, yeah, the dude that y'all heard about that was hung right here, and the police, the Houston PD, actually put out that he's lying, put out that nobody ever called this place that he calls Murder Wood. Nobody calls it that, right? So I think that that's a prime example of the police are humans too. The police know what clout chasing is, and they get a kick out of this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I think that their biggest superpower is taking the street guy, taking the person that you think is about it and shooting and selling and whatever, and making him look like a fool. Because we see it all the time. I don't know if y'all ever watch like First 48 or y'all watch any of these murder documentaries, right? When they get you in that room, when they get you in the room by themselves and there's two detectives across from you and they have all this information, a lot of people fold, a lot of people cry, a lot of people just break down because it's easy to be this super villain when you're around your boys, but once they put you in that room and that door closed and you know that you're facing life or you're facing 20 to 30 years, I think a lot of people become human again, in a sense that now they can feel the pressure. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. All I know is that 6ix9ine went crazy in that interview. I'm actually looking forward to a lot more interviews with 6ix9ine. I really like the character that he puts on the internet. I feel like with all these rappers and all of these street guys coming out as cooperated and snitches and stuff like that, I think it really opens it has opened the door for 6ix9ine to have a reemergence, have a voice again, because there was a time where everybody blackball 6ix9ine, the interviewers, the radio, you know, everybody, even Spotify and Apple Music, which is crazy because these are big companies who are taking sides as far as who's snitching and who's not, right? Which is stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go by the street code, go by the street code. But I feel like more people don't go by the street code than do, because obviously there's less street guys than there are just regular average citizens, you know. And I think that over the last couple of years, the fans have really seen just the flip-flop side of blackballing somebody because they snitched, or, you know, even with the Gunna situation, you know, 6ix9ine talks about that too. He says basically Gunna, that y'all knew Gunna was a snitch. Obviously, he has that interview where he did on TV, and he basically says that the two guys that did the shooting were wearing red. You know, he didn't necessarily name them, but he did a Crime Stoppers interview, you know, with the T.I. stuff. T.I. got caught with all those guns, and somehow he only got the lightest of sentences, you know, because he did the Crime Stoppers thing, you know. So I think it's just crazy. I think that, you know, I think the street rules and the street fencing that's put around hip hop is crumbling, you know. And I think that some of the faces that are at the forefront of that crumbling are 6ix9ine and others like him that just don't think that it's fair that if that's your homeboy or if that's your friend, that you have a different set of rules. It's like there's no direct set of rules when it comes to the streets, and I think that is the reason why it's crumbling. You know what I'm saying? There's no direct rules. So yeah, shout out 6ix9ine, man. So the next topic that I want to talk about, we got to get onto this Boston Richey stuff. And I don't know if y'all have heard, but Boston Richey, he was actually accused of snitching. I think last year or maybe 2 years ago, 1090 Jake did a whole breakdown of the whole snitching stuff, you know, and so did Academics did a breakdown of the whole snitching stuff. So, you know, this isn't far from the 6ix9ine situation. But basically, Boston Richey dates a girl when she was supposedly 16, and she exposes him for being a PDF file, and she also exposes him for getting pegged. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna play this audio, well, actually this video from Boston Richey responding to the girl who says that basically she goes to she went to the sex shop. She got the Peganator 3000, the little thing with the straps that you strap around your waist and your legs, and it has a little. She's basically saying he likes it in the ass. So I don't know. Let's listen to what Boston Richey has to say about this shit, man.
Say this, bro. Well, I hate to say this because I ain't even the type of the internet nigga that's going on the internet.
It's crazy when somebody says
I
I
speak
ain't
on
the
my personal life,
guy,
my relationship status,
then it's
shit,
coming to
my career, anything
to do
that I don't went through. Like I ain't
us.
never been a nigga that run to the net and try to speak my behalf on a situation. I always take it to the chin. But it shit damaging it when it's like a person you love take advantage and bully you at all costs. When I'm a nigga that don't sit back and sacrifice everything for this girl. Tell my nigga, I don't want to get my mama, my sisters, my BM, nigga, my label, nigga, I don't want to get the world about this girl. And since day one, the first time a motherfucker seen me and Shawty together, it been negative. It always been negative. Like even with the age shit, the underage shit, I ain't never going to that and tell nothing about that, tell the truth about
That's
that. I
crazy,
always
because we actually want to hear the
live
truth
by one
about
thing.
that.
I'm gonna protect you. I'll take it to the chin. As long as you go up, I'm cool with it. But it get to the point like
I don't really like
I don't
how he
want
just
everything
brushed
with
past
this
that.
girl, bro. From the lawsuits, bro. From the blackmailing me, put me in jail, nigga. I don't, nigga. You name it, nigga. I done went through this shit, nigga. I done went through this shit, nigga. With my chest up, nigga. My head up, nigga. My chest out, nigga. I done went through this shit privately, nigga. Just as a man. And it genuinely, and it kind of like, we're gonna speak on the real of this shit. Like, fuck all the Instagram shit, fuck all the keeping up an image. We're gonna speak on the real of this shit. It hurt when a motherfucker could just sit right there and bash you, put a false narrative out on you, and say this about you, you gay, you this, and man, this is what it all come down to, because we broke up. We broke up. You can't say I made a song about you. My song ain't about you. You know, I got 100 hoes. I got 100 girlfriends from 1 million followers all the way down. I got 100 bitches right now. 50 followers all the way to an M. I'm fucking them. And that's the reason we broke up. I can't stop cheating. But I move on gracefully because I don't cheat and you don't cheat it too. But the difference is between I don't go to the internet and put out, shawty do this, shawty fuck this nigga. Shawty goddamn was over here with this nigga. I don't do that, bro. I'll protect you at all costs. I don't never speak on you negative. For the 2 years we've been in a relationship, you go on the internet, that nigga look like shit at the bottom of my shoe. I still in my bed the next 2 days after that, in my bed. But I don't go on the internet and got a proof point. I don't live through ego. I don't live through none of that.
He doing it right now, so it's crazy. So basically, like I said, you see Boston Richey, he gets online and he's basically defending himself from this girl who had all these allegations and was basically saying that she was getting beat and she was getting just extorted as far as not having her way, not being able to really say what she wanted to say the whole time, and just speak about the violence and the domestic situation that she was in at the time. To that I say that's cap. To that I say it's cap. You know, we see this a lot of times in relationships, not even just in the rap world, just in general, because we see it in sports. We see it in just a lot of these, we see it in business. We see it in a lot of different areas that when a woman is with you and she gets to reap the benefits of your fortune and your fame or whatever to her is like the highlight of being with you, right? When a woman is with you, everything is cool, everything is gravy, everything is forgiven. You know what I'm saying? But when the breakup happens, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And what I mean by that is every time a breakup happens, the woman always has text messages that were saved in a folder, incriminating you, proof that there was violence, proof of this and proof of that. Women always have what they call receipts. You know, every woman always say, "Oh, I got the receipts. I got the receipts. I got the videos. I got the text messages." Right. My whole thing is, so when you're with the dude, it's cool, right? If you really love someone, right, and you're in a committed relationship with them, and everything is supposed to be for the better, right? Why do women always keep receipts like that? Why does she have the text message of him getting a Peganator 3000 going to the sex shop? Why does she have that? Why'd she feel the need to screenshot that if she was down with it? Because obviously she did it because she's saying that him and her, was getting freaky in the bed. Why do you have receipts like that? Right? Why do you have videos of you with black eyes and pictures of your injuries? Saving them for a rainy day, saving them for when you break up. I feel like that is the craziest part of all of this, other than the fact that obviously they're saying that she was underage when all of this transpired, right? But I think that we need to talk about that. Why do women do that? Why do women, if you're in a happy relationship, why do you feel the need to keep these kind of receipts, to keep this damning evidence, right, and save it until you guys break up? And then when it's almost like blackmail, right? A woman will put up with all of this and put up with all of that when there's benefits to it, when there's money behind it, when there's cars, when there's followers, when there's Instagram, when it's beneficial. They hide all of this stuff, but as soon as it becomes, as soon as y'all break up, boom, it's on the net. Why wasn't none of this sent to the police? Why wasn't none of this sent to the police? Why is this on the internet? if she says that she has all of this evidence of Boston Richey with these videos of him being with underage girls, and she has receipts of him talking to underage girls and talking about her and sharing sexual videos and stuff, why is this on the internet? Why is it on Instagram? Why is it on TikTok? Why didn't it go to the police? You see, and by no means am I dismissing the allegations and dismissing that obviously it's wrong if that did happen, right? But why was it okay when y'all were together? Then on top of that, she gets on an interview, one of these girly interviews where she's basically saying like she was only with Boston Richey for the money. I mean, he is known as a trick, you know what I'm saying? He does always rap about tricking on his girls and giving them money and this and that, right? I think it just goes to show the culture. I think it goes to show the climate of a lot of these women that are around these kind of people. Most of the time, they're only with you for the fame. Most of the time, they're only with you for the money, right? And once you get tired of them, their next go-to move is, okay, well, if I can't get no money from you, or if I can't get this and that, no fame off your name anymore, well, now I'm going to expose you. I think we're in a time, right, where it's more beneficial for people to expose you. They rather just take the loss on the chin and go up off your name. We've seen this so many times with a lot of different women. As soon as the kettle gets hot, they jump ship and they release everything, right? But we just keep on circling back to the same point. Why do you have these receipts? Why do you have these videos? Why? There's only one reason why, and that's to blackmail you. That's to make it so that after we're done, now I'm going to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's very sick and cynical in this culture. Here we have a video of Charleston White talking about the whole pegging situation. I love Charleston White, so I think they will get a good laugh out of this video. I'm about to play it right now.
And another thing. We don't want to hear about it. To all the young ladies that's underage fucking. I want to say this to all the young girls that's underage fucking. I want to say this to all the young girls that's underage fucking. Bitch, we don't care about you young hoes getting fucked underage. 15, 16, 17. That's you crazy. Fucking niggas in their 30s. He wasn't the first grown nigga you fucked. You didn't tell when your uncle molested you. So don't come back trying to tell him, well, he fucked me underage. When you enjoying the dick, somebody in your household was turning a blind eye, letting you fuck older niggas. So don't come back trying to shame the older nigga you was fucking. Is it wrong? No, it ain't wrong.
I think it is.
Is it wrong? No, it ain't wrong.
I think it is.
Is it wrong? No, it ain't wrong. It's illegal.
He said it ain't wrong.
It ain't wrong. It's illegal. Because in some households, if they don't call the police, it's right. The mama knows she getting fucked by that grown nigga. It ain't nothing wrong with it. The parent gave consent. Well, the mama done wrong. That's their child. Why you worried about it? Young hoes, 15, 16, 17, been fucking niggas in their 28, 29, 30 for a long time. We ain't finna let y'all come along and make it seem like it's wrong. No, it ain't wrong.
We all know Charleston White has a very unruly way of getting on the internet, and I think saying the most unruly things just to get a reaction. I think he is wrong, and I think that is wrong. Underage girls getting exploited by grown men. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these girls are not mentally developed enough to decipher when they're in a bad situation or when they're in a situation to where they're not supposed to be in. And but I don't want to make it. Here's my point. I think that when a lot of these underage girls are with these guys, especially celebrities, especially these people with money, right? I think that it's the parents' fault. I think the parent, when you have a kid that's 14, 15, all the way under 18, you need to know what they're doing. You need to know who they're with. You need to have some type of say in their life, to protect them from that. And I feel like a lot of these parents are not protecting their kids, especially when it comes to having a relationship with somebody that's older. We all know that there's manipulation going on there. We all know that there's different elements that are bad. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like as a parent, your child shouldn't be in that situation. And I feel like a lot of the times the parents are accepting of it. You know, we've seen it plenty of times, especially like with the stuff with R. Kelly back in the day with the young girls and the videos and stuff like that. The parents are just as guilty, if not more, than the perpetrator. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the moms are okay with their daughter being with an older man as long as he have money. They're okay with being with their young daughter being with men who have power and status and stuff like that. I guess a lot of these moms are living vicariously through their daughter, but you know, it's mentally damaging, you know. And then when it comes out later on that this was going on, I think it says a lot about these parents. I feel like now that we're in 2026, a lot of the parents of these 16 and 15-year-olds come from the 90s. I feel like a lot of us 90s people are letting our kids do whatever the hell they want, say whatever they want, post whatever they want on Instagram and Facebook and this and that. And I think that the parenting style has changed on the turn of the millennia. I think that after the 2010s, all these parents that are parents to these teenagers and stuff, I feel like instead of being parents, you want to be their friend. And I think that is where the problem is. Instead of being that voice of guidance, a lot of these parents are being bros and girlies with their kids as opposed to being parents. And I think that that needs to change. The maturity of a lot of these parents that are having these, especially parents that had a kid at 16, because there are those parents that had a kid at 17, 18 when they're not even developed. I think that a lot of these parents weren't mentally ready to raise a child the right way and have them go through school and have them, you know, learn responsibilities and stuff like that. I think this era that we're in with the Instagrams and this and that, it's all about status. It's all about the cars and the money and blah, 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 blah. And when it's beneficial to the parent by, you know, the man or the woman giving them money and you know, it's sick. It's sick. And I think that a lot of the minds of these parents needs to be altered. I think that we need a reality check when it comes to raising children. I think because a lot of them were thrown into it. You know, a lot of these mothers got pregnant at a young age by an older man, was manipulated by an older man. But I think as a smart human being, you wouldn't let your daughter go through the same thing. But hurt people. Hurt people don't always learn from their mistakes or learn from, you know, the situations that they're in. And I think it's evident with a lot of, because this is more common than you think. I think, honestly, what what Charleston was getting on, is that this is more evident than we're making it seem. You know what I'm saying? There's so many underage girls who are with older men. I seen it when I was in school. When I was in high school, I was in the 9th grade, and I had this friend, right? And she would always get picked up in a what was it? I think it was a Camaro or something. A nice car that you knew that nobody our age was driving. And every time I seen the driver, it was a grown man. So we're not going to sit here and act like this hasn't been happening since the dawn of time, right? Is it wrong? Yes. Does it happen? Yes. Right? And I think there needs to be more whistleblowers on it. There need to be more people protecting the children, more people protecting women and men who aren't fully developed mentally and don't know that this is damaging to them. When Kevin Samuels was doing his show, he talked about this. He talked about a lot of women were damaged when they were young by being with older men, by basically living above their age. They're too grown. A lot of these girls are too grown, especially with the things that they post and the things that and the way that they pose in pictures. I feel like a lot of these women, these young women, are too grown, and it is the parents' fault. You need to be in your child's life. You need to set boundaries. You need to build respect. When you're a parent, your job is not to be your kid's friend. Your job is to be your kid's parent, their voice of guidance, right? Because an undeveloped mind doesn't always make the right choices. And I think that with a little bit more help, more women that are young will not be taken advantage of like they are today and like they have been since the dawn of time. So, I think that Boston Richey really skated past that point. But I think that if he was dating this girl when she was underage, I think it's sick. I think it's not right. And I think that we need more accountability. We need more accountability as a society. We need to stop letting our kids get into this type of stuff, man. Amen. Horrible. Yeah. So, next topic. Drake is dropping Iceman May 15th. That's actually in a few days. That's in 4 days, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I really am. I'm definitely a Drake fan. Definitely. I feel like ever since the battle with Kendrick, ever since the songs that were put out, ever since everybody switched sides or they chose their sides, I feel like there's been like a veil put over Drake. Obviously, he's still the number one streamed artist. He's still producing at a high level when it comes to music. He's still Drake. But I feel like a lot of the fair weather friends, the people that were on the fence, I feel like they switched sides on Drake. So I feel like Iceman, this album is Drake's redemption. I feel like Drake is, he sat back. He took advice from a lot of the fans, sat back, took a break from being so much in the forefront, and sat back and really created some music. I'm hoping that this album isn't a bunch of sing songs. I want to hear some raps. I want to hear some subtle, witty replies to a lot of the things that happened. A lot of these people switched up on Drake. A lot of people weren't very vocal when Drake was being talked about, when he was on this arc of not being favored as much as he was, because there was right before this, and there was obviously a couple of points in Drake's career where anything he puts out is number one. Anytime he put out a song or anything like that, it shot to number one immediately. And I'm hoping that that's not behind him. You know what I'm saying? He put out the latest project that I heard him put out, or that we all heard him put out, was that the collab album with Party Next Door, but I don't think that was directly a Drake album. Great songs on there. I think it really aged well. A lot of the songs on there are still being used in TikTok and stuff like that. So, I mean, we all know Drake makes great music, but I think that this album here needs to be a staple for this time. You know, a lot of Drake's earlier albums were very personal to him, and he talked about his life. He talked about the problems he was going through with a lot of the women that he was seeing. And I don't think that this album needs to be anything other than that. I think he needs to talk about his life. I think that he needs to talk about how he feels, and how he felt about certain people not taking up for him. And like I said, I really want to hear him articulate this. I really want to hear some good, well thought out verses, some memorable raps from Drake. I'm gonna play this video. So to announce the album maybe 2 weeks ago, Drake set some ice in his hometown of Toronto, and as soon as people seen the ice, they already knew what it was. Let me play this video. If you read the caption, it says Drake fans are doing anything to melt the ice. There was a big 2-story blocks of ice, right? And basically once the ice melted, we got the release date for Drake's album, Iceman. And I really like that rollout. I feel like the last couple of Drake's albums, he was so beloved in the culture that he didn't need a rollout. He didn't need an interview. He didn't need to show that he was dropping an album. He could just drop it and it'd go number one. But I feel like right now is the best time for him to show us that traditional rollout, you know. And I feel like it was very creative to put the ice there, to have the fans come try to melt the ice and use lighters and blow torches and whatever that they use to melt this. Very creative. It shows me that Drake's team is still strong, that Drake still has a lot of creatives behind him, and they sit and they brainstorm ideas to garner the most attention. And I feel like that right there was very great. Very great. Dope rollout. We've seen a couple of other rollouts that were pretty good, like the Cole rollout, where he rides around in his Corolla or his Honda Civic, whatever car he had, and he basically goes from campus to campus, city to city, selling the CDs out of the trunk of his car, which really brought back a lot of nostalgia. Cole dropped a great album as well. I really love the Fall Off. But I think that the rollout was really sentimental. The rollout was really it brought back that old hip hop feel, you know, and that's why I'm saying I feel like the game is missing the rollout. A lot of artists nowadays, they don't do the big rollouts. They think just because they post that they're gonna drop an album on social media, or that that they post a teaser clip video, that their album is gonna go up. But I think that we're missing the basis of dropping music. Dropping music is having the rollouts, having the moments in the interview before you drop, having these key moments that build up to a higher release date, to a higher release of the music. And I feel like when you captivate the fans, when you have the fans gazing at what you're doing before it comes out, I feel like more people are appreciative of the final product, the final music, because it comes with something other than just the music. It's a whole show. It's the theatrics. I think all of that builds up a great album. Check out this video too. This is a video of so a lot of fans are seeing Drake around. They're seeing him on trucks. They're seeing him basically shooting music videos. So here's this video. See him on the back of the truck with the ice. That's dope. That's dope. I feel like this is bringing a lot of anticipation. Here's another video of him on the back of the truck. Look at that. That's so dope, bro. Full feature, full-fledged. I think that Drake is coming back. That is so dope. Look at the ice on the back of the truck. I think that Drake is coming back with a vengeance this time. I feel like he's going all out. He's shooting quality videos. There's no more, oh, I can just shoot it and put it out. And no, I think that Drake is actually taking the time on this album to do something great. You know what I'm saying? The caliber of artist that Drake is, we expect this from him. We expect full-fledged production. We expect the best cameras, the best scenery, the best jewelry, the best whatever. I feel like this bag right here, I like this bag that Drake's in. I think that Drake is popping his shit. I think that Drake is he's popping out, and the fans love it. If you hear the audio of the video, you'll see that a lot of fans are like, I love you, Drake. And, you know, I think with him taking that time off, not really being as visible in the public and as visible, because there was a time where Drake was everywhere. He was at every club. He was renting out the stadium to have lunch with biddies, and you know what I'm saying? Always theatrical with Drake. But I feel like with this Iceman thing, man, I feel something coming, man. I feel like Drake has a chip on his shoulder, and he's really gonna show out with the production of this. Look, we got one more video. This is him in the tower in Toronto.
Look. That is so Drake, bro. That is
Fans
crazy,
are so excited,
man.
that they're looking up at the tower and they're seeing
Look at that.
a silhouette of someone performing, and they
Yo,
just
he's
know it's
moving,
Drake.
bro.
Like,
He's got a big ass puffer jacket on too.
I love it. I love it, man. I love the fact that that fans are excited, because I feel like right after the battle, a lot of people were kicking Drake while he was down. A lot of people were acting like he's still not the guy, like he's not the boy, and I think that really got to Drake. So that's why I really love this rollout. That's why I really love the timing that Drake's on. I think he's on some demon time. I think Drake is really finna bust up and fucking blow the whole game up, man. I got one more video to play, and this is coming from Rick Ross. I think this says a lot to what other people think Drake is about to do, right? Because in this video, we see Rick Ross backtracking a lot of the shit that he says and contradicting a lot of the things he said over the past year or two when Drake was looking like he might not be the guy no more. Check this out. And it's crazy because this is with Ebro, who still has a career thanks to Apple Music. You know, he was kicked off Hot 97. But just listen to the interview.
Now, Ross, the internet will likely try to make something of you being like, hey, play that joint without the Drake vocals. I want y'all to sing along.
Without Little Man.
Right? They gonna make some of it, but you constantly play your records that you collab with Drake on, and you encourage the fans to sing.
Facts.
So that's not trying to be messy. That's you trying to put on a show.
Let me tell you some shit. Me being a boss, you gotta understand. This French Montana right here, this is my brother. Drake, if you listening to this, homie, listen to me. My nigga, shine. I don't want to see you lose. No real nigga want to see you lose. That ain't what niggas about. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't want to see you lose. Real niggas just want to see real niggas shine together.
Come on, Ross. Come on, Ross. You was the same dude calling him BBL Drizzy. You the same dude making fun of his jet. You the same one. Put it this way. Rick Ross is the embodiment of a lot of the sentiment of a lot of the people that were going against Drake at the time. When they thought that Drake was gonna be on a downhill battle, a uphill battle, obviously. When they thought that Drake was going down, a lot of people had a lot to say, negative things to say about him. So I feel like this video right here from Rick Ross is very disingenuous. I don't believe him at all. What I do think is that they know Drake is finna score 100. They know Drake finna go for 40 right now, and right before his album drops, they want to try to make it right, and they want to try to attach to this Iceman thing. So that's all I feel like Rick Ross is doing. I don't feel like he's genuine with telling Drake that he wants him to win. Of course Drake is gonna win. He ain't never lost. He never lost. And I think that, everybody knows what Drake is about to do. Everybody knows Drake is about to go #1. Everybody is anticipating that this may be his best album because his back's against the wall. He's between a rock and a hard place. And if you know Drake like I know Drake, Drake is coming to perform. You know what I'm saying? Drake is coming to win that championship, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I feel like anybody backtracking at this point after dissing him, because mind you, Rick Ross did put out a diss track calling him white boy and all this other stuff, really trying to sun Drake. And I think that Rick Ross trying to vouch for French Montana and them saying, oh yeah, it's no beef and nothing like that. Man, get up out of here. Playing both sides. French Montana, you playing both sides, buddy. It's not gonna work. Drake's not fucking with y'all, man. You didn't have nothing to say when he was getting his back kicked in. You didn't say, hey, I'm with Drake when his back was getting kicked in. No, you stayed silent. And I think that anybody that stays silent when Drake was getting fucked up doesn't deserve any grace, doesn't deserve any features, doesn't deserve the spotlight. So, of course, Drake's not going to respond. He already knows what Ross is trying to do. He wants Drake to respond so that Rick Ross's streams could go up and all of this. You know how the internet works. By him going in a back and forth with Drake at a time that's supposed to be his moment. So sit the fuck back, Rick Ross. This is Drake's moment, right? We don't need an apology. You stay on your side. And mind you, I fuck with Ross. I feel like Ross is a great rapper. But when it comes to this Drake stuff, it's looking a little weird, bruh. Don't backtrack what you said. Stand on that. Stand on that. Be a real nigga. And stand on that and stay on that side. You know what I'm saying? Drake finna come out and he finna bomb you bum ass niggas. And that's a fact, man. So shout out Drake, man. Iceman drops May 15th. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. I know it's gonna be some slaps. I know we're gonna get some raps, and it's a rap. You feel me? All right. So next topic, man. I just want to briefly talk about the Lakers, man. They made it to the second round. They got Houston up out of here. And it's crazy because, I'm a fan of the Houston Rockets, obviously, because I live in Houston. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like once the Rockets traded for KD, felt like it was over. A lot of people, when KD was announced coming earlier this year or end of last year, I forget when, they were excited. They were like, yes, we get KD and this. I was one of those people that was like, I don't know if the Houston Rockets needed KD. You know what I'm saying? Every team that KD gets on, it's a problem. He wants a trade. He's talking shit. He's on his Finsta, Mr. Twitter Fingers. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like KD's a dog. KD gonna come out and he gonna get his 30. You know what I'm saying? But he's not a facilitator. He doesn't get other people involved as much as he should, and he's not the team captain. I think KD is a great side player, a great second option. He's gonna score, but I don't think that he's gonna ever win any championships again, unless he gets with a team that's already winning, just like he did in Golden State. And I say all that to say, shout out LeBron, man. LeBron had a great series against the Houston Rockets. Love it. I love to see LeBron out there. I love to see him playing with his son Bronny. I do think that they're gonna get eliminated by OKC, obviously, the reigning champions. OKC is just a younger team, more to prove, and just a very, very deep roster, and they're very good at adapting to anything that you throw at them. So I do think that the Lakers are going to get swept. It's already 3-0. I think the next game is tomorrow. I'm hoping they at least pull one off, but I'm just glad that they made it to the second round. I love to see it. I love that Bronny got some playoff experience, and it's just dope. I've always been a LeBron fan. I'm a fan of any team that has LeBron, and shout out to Lakers, man. All right. So, next topic that I want to talk about, man. Julio Foolio was killed outside of a hotel by 3 or 4 masked men, was set up by a girl, was gunned down brutally in the back seat of the car. And it's just tragic, man. It's it goes back to what I said about 6ix9ine, man, or what 6ix9ine said. Who was Julio Foolio killed by? A brother. We got to stop with the gun violence, man. We got to, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that they should die. Just never talk to them again. Go your separate ways. Block them. Block anybody that's around them. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have a dispute with somebody doesn't mean that they have to die. But anyway, so all the Foolio's killers, all the men involved have gotten life. Here is a video.
As to count 1, victim Charles Jones, the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. During the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempt to use a trial division 1 verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, the defendant actually possessed a firearm.
Man down.
Charles Jones, the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. Did the state of Florida prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant was a member or an associate of a of a criminal gang during the commission of the offense. Division 1 verdict form. The jury finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. If during the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carry, display, used to
So as you've seen in the video, everybody involved in the actual shooting of Foolio has gotten life, as they should, man, as they should. I think we all seen the video, man. This was a brazen hit. This was a hit. Foolio was set up, and he was just brutally murdered. This was like a firing squad type murder, you know, and none of them were really remorseful. I think that they all really hated Foolio. Now, not to say that Foolio was the best kind of guy, you know. Obviously, he taunted a lot. Obviously, he talked a lot of shit, you know. So, I guess I could somewhat understand why they wanted him gone. But in the eyes of the law, you're still guilty of murder, you know. And I think just the heinousness, the way that this hit was carried out, I think that they didn't really have any remorse. I don't think that they cared about if anyone else was there. I think they just wanted him dead, and whoever was an innocent bystander or whoever was around, they was getting shot too. They didn't care. And I think that when the jury watched this, when the judge watched this murder unfold, and when all the evidence came out, the guns, and that they booked the Airbnb, they came from a whole different city just to kill the man, I think that it was an open and shut case. I think, you know, once they all got arrested, we already knew it was over. We knew they'd get life, right? Because of just the way that all of this was carried out, and two of them went on the run, and you know, once they were all rounded up, though, we knew it was over. I think that the times that we're in, these brazen killings, I think these run up and shoot you down, broad daylight, or, you know, in front of a busy hotel, I think that is sick. I think a lot of the kids, a lot of the younger people are sick in their minds. They're very desensitized to death. They're desensitized to committing a murder and shooting and just killing everybody there. I think that a lot of these people think that we're like, this is a video game and that we're living in Call of Duty. You know, the way that they're just running up on people and gunning them down. We've seen so many people get gunned down in the last 5 years. I can't even recall all of them, you know, and especially being in 2026, there's always video footage of everything. So it's like a lot of these young people are just throwing their life away because for the most part, you're gonna get caught. There's so many cameras. They'll backtrack you. There's cell phone locations. There's Instagram messages and text messages, and nothing can be deleted, right? So I don't understand the mindset of a lot of these young guys who want to go commit a murder. And it's like, I put it this way, like in 2026, 99 times out of 100, if you plan and commit a murder, you're getting caught. You're getting caught. You're getting caught. These people, and then on top of that, these aren't bona fide hitmen. These aren't Army SEAL Rangers. These aren't, I said Army, I meant Navy SEAL. These aren't elite killers. These are just regular guys who think just because they have a gun in their hand that they have all the power. But I think that when they get caught and they get to trial, we see a lot of this. Look at this video. This is Sean Gathright, the light-skinned dude. Look at his face, man. Look at his face. So for all of you that want to come out here and commit murder, I want you to really see his face. Look at his mom's face. Look at that boy crying when he heard life and heard that gavel drop. Look at him. Head down, crying. He knew he was cooked. Sean Gathright knew. Look at this. I got another video, right? This is before the trial. They have him locked in an interrogation room, and as he's sitting there contemplating his life in prison, he tries to escape through the ceiling. Watch this, man. I told y'all, once you get in that room, and you're locked in there, all you want to do is get out. It's like you're a caged animal. But a lot of you motherfuckers don't think about that while you're killing someone, while you're robbing someone. Let me out. Now you want to scream. Now your mind is doing 360s and going back to back to back because you know it's over. Where you going, buddy? He's trying to escape through the ceiling, y'all. You see this? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's nowhere to go, buddy. It's time to face the music. You realize you can't get up out of there, man. You're cooked. And I think that right there is why he cried in the last video. Sit in that chair and don't wait. Yeah, they're not playing with him. They're not playing with him. You see how they rushed there as soon as he thought nobody was watching. But every time you're in that room, just look up in that corner. It's always a camera watching you, man. Right? So I think a lot of y'all young dudes who think y'all out here about it and y'all street dudes and that you're going to be out here committing murders, and this isn't a video game, man. This isn't a video game. This is real life, and there's real life consequences to murder, right? And I think, like I said before, it's so evident when you're sitting in the courtroom and you're no longer in control of your life. You're no longer in control of your destiny, and you got to look at all them people that get to decide whether you go home or not. When you see that one person that could slam that gavel and take away your life, right? And that's what happened here. That's why he cried. That's why he tried to get out of the roof. He knew his life was over, right? You got to think about it like this, man. When you're going out and you're committing these murders, man, when you shoot and you end someone's life, just think about it. You've ended your life. Because as soon as you get caught, you're done. You're finished. You're crying. You know what I'm saying? So, justice has been served. Thank God we got these scummy people off the streets. You know what I'm saying? I think they deserve everything that they get. Right? Whew. So, you just finished watching another episode of the Man What podcast. Man What? You here with Untamed. One of your favorite hosts, man. Like I said, we got a lot of new stuff coming on the channel. We have a different way that we're gonna be going about putting out content. I'm gonna try to put out shorter videos, more of them. I'm gonna try to put like a video, a topic, you know what I'm saying, and be able to drop a little bit more consistently, man. Thank you to everybody that watch. Thank you to everybody that subscribe. Make sure you share this, like it, comment. Let me know, any topics that you want me to talk about. Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for getting to the end of this video, man. Check out the new logo. Peace.
Man,